What's up, guys? Welcome back to the process. The process before, when we had filmed a lot of episodes for it, was pretty much kind of, you know, what we had going on in the off season, what it took to get our farms where we wanted them to be. And, you know, even though it was helpful, it was cool, we've just decided to change it up a little bit. We're still going to be the process, but we're going to be bringing you a lot more episodes, a lot more up-to-date stuff, pretty much what we're doing all the time. It's still going to be the process of what we do on a daily basis. So today, right now, we're going in the gate, we're checking cams, we're filling feeders, moving them around, just typical August type stuff. We finally got done with the last food plot here in Iowa yesterday, and this afternoon I got a buddy who's on our tiller in Illinois, and this afternoon I'm going over, or tomorrow morning, to spray and be done with it. I want to show you what we did here, though. This is an interesting little take. Let me show you a little bit what we got going on here. I posted 5 coyotes under a feeder last week. Obviously they like big ton too. Well, that was this feeder. We got that stand there. It's been about 10 years. It's the rat house. But we planted this plot, winter bulbs and sugar beets, a week ago, and we took out about 10 rows of corn. Not something I like to do, but the deer and the coons had ate it bad. Usually I put this center little spot back there in maximum or deer radishes, and then we'll have a field back here that's in deer radishes. You know, they don't compete too bad, but I'm gonna show you, we left that in clover. It's a beautiful patch. But what we did here, we took out a 75-yard stretch, and even though we didn't want to take out much corn, my dad, when he was disking, or cheated a little bit, took out some of the roadway, some of the grass. There used to be cedars all in here, and we took those out, so this place is definitely more open. But what this will do, the winter bulbs and sugar beets is definitely a later season plot. So by putting them here, hopefully, you know, I got a 40-yard shot right here with my bow. But you can see where the beans meet the corn. These beans are actually doing pretty good. The ones I just showed a little bit ago are not so much, but you get a little spoiled. You know, we don't grow bumper crop beans in this country. Corn usually does pretty good, but these beans are pretty well off. But that stand over there, we call it the Matrix. This stand right here, it's called Broken Arrow. And instead of putting it in a green field, we just decided to leave it in corn this year. And you know, it's a lot easier disking up soybeans than it is corn, because corn is just, you know, gold pretty much year round. So we're leaving that here. This is what we call Ruby CRP. We've shot a lot of deer out of that stand. We got 2 bow stands. We're gonna have this plot, which is pretty excited about. We've never planted this in green, but I'm always up for trying some new stuff, and especially when I don't have to take out any corn. But I'm gonna take you back here and show you this clover field. This gap is usually really good for getting pictures. I'll run a cam over there, one run right here. But my dad shot the split G2 10 point. He didn't really have a name, but that's what he looked like right here. And when we had it in deer radishes. But this is Frost City clover. This has not been sprayed, not one time. It's been mowed once. And this is what it looks like. I mean, probably some of the best stand of clover on the entire farm. It's just beautiful. This is non-typical. Just the tonnage and forage that it puts out is unbelievable. You can see where the deer have been snipping all in here. But we'll spray it if it's needed. Obviously this one isn't. There's a big, or I shouldn't say a big, there's a short ladder stand right here. It's very thick, so we just cut it out. Usually we don't even cut it out this time of year. We just let it grow all the way in, let it do what it's gonna do. When you come hunt it, we bring the long extended Hoyman saw and carve out only what we need. But yeah, y'all let me know what you think. Should I have disced this up and put deer radishes, which is a proven killer for this hole right here. This was just kind of a food plot I had envisioned. We brought a dozer in here 2 years ago, pushed an old fence line up, cleared some cedar trees out, just enough to make a true kill plot right there in a field that's kind of oblong shaped, hourglass, whatever you want to call it. you put the stand, I always like to put a stand on the north and the south for both winds. We got a stand about 8 feet high right there. It's almost comical. But we'll put that one at that end, one at this end. You kind of can always hunt it depending on the wind. But when you got an hourglass field like this, if you can get in the center, it's just something about it. Those deer, no bigger than this, they're gonna be at both ends. Unless it's just a rut, they're chasing the doe or doing something crazy. But if they're feeding or cruising looking for does, they're gonna cross through this middle. I don't know what it is in this country, that's just what they do. But left it in clover, it's beautiful. And that's a clover field to be proud of. Kyle Frosty, the daddy, had an idea, a certain date, when ground temperature got to a certain point. He said, let me try it, and I'd say the experiment worked. Starting to get a little rain, which is great, not gonna complain. 57 degrees this morning. These plots were planted a week ago. This is deer radishes. Half-inch tall in most places. I'm just kind of making my rounds today. I try to not mess with cameras every couple of weeks, moving them around or refreshing batteries and stuff. But we use a variety of batteries. We got so many cameras, almost too many. But we use rechargeable, 10-energy rechargeables. We use regular alkalines. We use 6 volts. We use 12 volts, converters, just the whole shebang. But I try not to come every couple of weeks, and did this a couple of weeks ago. Now we still will feed as needed, and you know, if it's tractor work, but we're all about, you know, intrusion. We always preach it's a big thing. I don't want to mess my dad's field up. I don't mind driving through an area I hunt. If I were to drive my truck across that field, it would not be good. Just about been all over the farm the last few hours, and the best beans on the entire farm are right here, where my dad hunts. Coincidence? I think not. I think they got a little more fert along the way, but we usually run on the tractor, so I can't say too much. A lot of people don't like the rainy days or being outside, but I love it. It suppresses noise. Come in places like this, you're just not leaving as much scent. So usually when I'm looking, you know, trying to lay out a week and stuff like that, I'd like to be at the farm. Obviously I love beautiful days, they make the soul feel good and all, but when you can get a day when it's light rain or something like this is the time to move stands, move cameras, and all that type of stuff. As long as it's not raining too hard, but that's something we've always tried to do. It's like it cuts your intrusion in half or even less. But this guy don't quit slamming doors, he ain't gonna get invited back.
The process is, I had to come up here from Alabama to show these Iowa boys how to kill a deer. He come ask my opinion how to get up in a tree where he needs to hunt at this year. And every year they probably kill, you know, anywhere deer from 180 to 200 inches. So that's the process. If you want to know the real story behind the Lindsey way, you looking at him.
All right, there's a mom and 3 babies. We just jumped a pretty good buck out of here. Of course, I get wet when I take a bath, so I'm not that worried about it, but this is perfect time to come down in here. I've been getting pics of a really big deer down here. I mean, not 200, but he's really big to me. And real massive, couple inside tines. But what we had, the only spot we could plant the spring beans was right here, as you could see where the beans are. And so we just decided every area that wasn't beans, let's put in final forage. So that's what we did. It's got one rain, it's been in the ground a week. It's looking really good, and it's gonna look even better. I killed Bone Crusher. I don't know if any of you guys remember that deer, but I killed Bone Crusher right there. I don't even really hunt that stand anymore because it's just kind of out of the game, the way the deer travel. But I'm gonna get it cleaned up, ready for this fall. I got a stand right over there. I've been getting this big buck's picture right there on that Spartan cam. We're about to drop some more big tine. And I got another stand I hunt right there in a walnut, but it's starting to die. It makes me a little nervous. I got nervous in it last year. But what I'm gonna do, I may do it this afternoon if it don't get too wet. but there's a big gap that connects this field with what we call Booner Bottom, just a drain, and we've never hunted it just because the deer live in there and the wind tends to swirl. But I'm going to try to push the issue this year on, of course, the right winds, but hopefully I can show y'all. I don't know if I'll get the stand hung this evening, but if it keeps raining, I'm gonna slip in there. That way I won't leave no scent. He's bedded over in here. There's no doubt about that. It's where he's bedded, based on how he's coming to the cameras, coming to this field every night. I'm getting this picture in here more nights than not before dark. So let's hope that doesn't change. Hope he does that for about 2 more months. It's a good looking acorn crop this year, just about everywhere. I'll show you this field a little bit. This clover field is not great. It's just got too much shade. It gets a ton of deer pressure right here in the middle of these woods. But this is a spot we run a mock scrape right there, and that spot is a absolute hammer hole for daylight activity. We got a tree over there we call the monkey bars. We got a stand down there we call the swing set. Or the swing set's the field. We got a stand there we call the playground. Killed a couple deer in there. But this clover is not the best, but that white oak tree's got a bunch of acorns, and that red oak tree has these on it. So what we do, if we get the right wind, you gotta have a southeast. Not really the only wind you can hunt that on, southeast or east, which is rarer than hen's teeth, but if you get it, you can climb up in that stand. Great stand and rattle, real thick on that downwind side. Pretty good. Press that save and boom. Okay. Yeah, press it when you guys watch it. Here's another clover plot that we didn't till up. You just can't beat year-round nutrition. This is one, again, that we frost seeded, but those tillage radishes, the deer radishes, you know, people have been calling them tillage radishes for years and been planting them before crops, using them as cover crop, whatever. But they put so much nutrients in the soil. They prepare such a beautiful seed bed or soil bed, if you will, and it just prevents weeds. It does a ton. So when you're frost seeding into that, this is what you get. And we got a bean field here. My dad shot a pretty good deer right there one year. I shot ashtay right there back when I was with Drury. One of the best hunts I've ever been a part of, and he died right there. Heck of a time. So there again, changing it up a little bit this year. Typically, we're just like green plot, that's what we're gonna do. We're not changing from that. But when you got clover like this, you just can't disc it up. I would shed a tear if I was down here discing this up. Okay, I've been showing y'all some clover plots that are beautiful, and we didn't want to disc up, but let me show you this one. This is one that is a highly erodible area, and it was just kind of, you know, whatever you want to call it, fallow grass, just mainly brome grass. It wasn't worth a dang, you know, 12 inches tall. So we put it in clover about, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. To be honest, I don't know or remember the exact date, but it's one of those spots that was great. The deer would feed on it year round, but had gotten time where it was done. And there was really no place we'd saved out in our corn to put a fall plot. So me and my dad were looking at it one day and we said, let's just put this hillside in green. And this will be really the only year we do that, because we don't really like having food plots on hillsides. We like those in clover, alfalfa, something that's not going to wash. And so we top seeded it with the non-typical clover after we put down the deer radishes. So it's kind of going to be the best of both worlds. And see, I got a box stand right there, but it's out of the game. So we're probably going to have a rhino blind there and a rhino blind down here. We really got no trees right here to put it once they get out here, because what I do believe these deer will work this way towards that corn. That's what they traditionally do pretty much every night anyhow, but with this food here, they're going to stop short, no doubt. But what I'm really excited about is this little strip right here. This is like just a killing funnel, because what you got is a big ditch coming down right here. You got this big white oak tree which just screams lock on. You got the lake, so they're not going that way. So they got, I don't know, what's that, 50-yard pinch they got to walk through to get here. I mean, not only is this white oak loaded with acorns, but you'll be able to see the plot up over the hill. And then you got like this, almost like a landing strip just leading right to the glory land. If we don't shoot a buck right here, or at least a pile of does this fall, I will not be disappointed, but things will not have went as planned, I can promise you that.
Hey guys, thanks for following along today, and we appreciate y'all watching. So if you liked what you saw, give us a thumbs up, and if you don't already subscribe, hit the subscribe button to our channel. If you don't, your first hunt of the year, you will be swarmed by a flock of bloodthirsty mosquitoes. So do us a favor, follow us. Check us out, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, at The Lindsey Way. We're on all of them. Until next time, see you later.